Hi Foxes, and welcome back to my channel. This is Brittany from SHOPFOXBURROW. I am SHOPFOXBURROW on Poshmark, Etsy, and Instagram. And as you can see, I am in my car today. I'm doing a little bit of a work with me video. So the time is 8:17 right now. I just dropped my son off at daycare. He'll be there all day. And I am back home sitting in my driveway, and I'm about to go inside and get started on sharing my Poshmark closet and sending out offers. So once a month I go through and send out offers on my entire closet, and I'll go over that in more detail. Essentially, this day will be one of my biggest sales days of the month. When I posted on Instagram my February sales for Poshmark and asked if you guys wanted a video on how it happened, or what I do, how I make what I make, everyone said yes, make a YouTube video. So I thought that instead of just going through my numbers with you, I would show you actually like one of my key strategies to achieving those numbers and give you a little bit more insight into how I run my business. I am obviously not saying that this is the way that everyone should run their business, but this is what works for me. I know that it's helpful to take in a lot of different strategies from a lot of different sellers so that you can find your own strategy and what works for you. And yeah, so I thought that I would kind of give you the skinny on what I do. And we're gonna go in and I'm gonna make some coffee, grab a bagel, and get started. We use reusable K-cup pods. And this mug was my grandmother's. She passed a couple of years ago, but she never hesitated to tell me how proud she was of me, and it reminds me that she's watching over me. So this is how I work at the kitchen table, and you can see here, this is my discount schedule. So we are on March right now, and so things that were listed in March will get 10% off. February 20, January and December will both be 30% off, and then November and October will be 40% off, and September and earlier will be 50% off if the margins are there and I can afford it with the shipping discount. This over here is 40% off. Because I do my prices in a certain way, then I know what 40% off is without having to do any math in my head. I have almost 800 listings. I am going to just start at the top. These are just in listings. If they have likes on them, I will go in and send offers. All right, so down here you can see, if it ever loads, you can see I've got a 3 right there. So that means it will get a 10% discount. And obviously I have to select a shipping discount or it will not submit. And I just go through and do that with all of these listings. And hopefully the accepts will start to stream in. Sometimes people send counter offers and then lose their shipping discount. But in general, I build in enough wiggle room that I can usually accept a counter offer unless it's very low. I don't typically do more than 30% off in my Posh closet unless something has been sitting for a really long time, or it has been listed for say a month and it has no likes at all, then I might accept a lower discount. But in general, 30% off is the most that I will discount, and I feel like that's pretty reasonable. Okay, so I just finished sending out all of the offers through February. So that is the 10 and 20% offers. No accepts yet, but as you can see, I sent out a lot of offers, so I'm sure some action will come in on that. Sometimes it comes in today, sometimes it comes in tomorrow, sometimes it even comes in Sunday, but usually this is the busiest weekend that I will have throughout the month. Now I'm really going to get into it because now I'm going to start sending out the 30% offers, and that is on anything listed in January and December. And so I do expect to see a number of outright purchases from those offers. So I am going to get started with that. Finished sending my offers. A majority of the deeper discount offers I actually sent out yesterday. So this morning I only had to send out offers from December to current. Otherwise it would have taken me a lot longer. It's now 11:50. And I just thought I would go over my sales with you guys from last month and kind of give you like an overview of how I got there. So first of all, this doesn't include everything. There's about $100 some odd in sales, or 150, something like that, that did not get worked into this because they haven't cleared through Poshmark yet, so they're not showing up on my sales report. But you can see here, $3,083.62 is how much I sold gross. You can see $2,407 is how much I sold net on Poshmark. My average sale price was around $26, and my average sale less my fees was $20. And I sold 118 units. So if we go to, let's see, this page, you can see my year-over-year growth here. I have in all of my sales back from last year. And you can see right here, January and February of last year, I sold $832.88 on Poshmark last year. And that's after fees. And this one is $2,407, so quite an increase in sales. It is right about on par with my January month, except that I did a little bit better on Etsy in February, so overall I made more money. On the simulator page, you can see if I would like to make $3,000 net per month, then I need to basically get another 12 sales out of the month that average my $26 average selling price and $20.80 net sales from Poshmark. That would be before my cost of goods. In general, my cost of goods are pretty low, so I don't worry too much about that. I do get a decent number of inventory from the Goodwill outlet or estate sales, but then of course I pay up for some pieces like on ThreadUp and whatnot. So I've been selling 118 items per month, and I would need to increase that to 131 to make $3,000 net. Let's see here. If I had my other sales platforms in, you would be able to see the ratio, but I do not. If you would like to know more about my Etsy sales, I do have a full video that details every sale that I made on Etsy in February, and you can watch that. This is always very interesting for me. Now, this is a full year's worth of information all the way back from January 2019, and it shows you my different orders by day. Wednesday has traditionally always been my lowest activity day. It doesn't matter if I work more on Wednesday, if I work the same on Wednesday, if I work less on Wednesday. It's just my lowest activity day. But funny enough, it is my highest dollar day for my average sale price. You can see Friday is way up here because that is when I tend to send my bulk offer to likers, and that does result in a lot of sales. That is what I'm doing today and taking you along with me. On this page, you can see my percentages for types of orders. So 16.5% of people bought it just straight out. They didn't put in an offer. I get a lot of sales from Google. I can tell that they're from Google because the buyer does not have an account. Like if I click on their username, they don't have an account, or if I click on their username, their account was created same day as their purchase, and they don't really have any followers or anything like that. That's how I know that a purchase comes from Google, and that is usually because of good SEO and good pictures. Offer to likers, 20% of my sales come from offer to likers, and 63.4% of sales come from other offers, which means either a bundle or someone sending me an offer. So my sales, 21.7% of my sales are bundles, which is fantastic, and that is one of the benefits of having a very cohesive closet, is that you get a lot of bundles. When I first started listing on Poshmark, I got almost no bundles, but the more that I've grown my closet and grown my aesthetic and stayed true to what I enjoy selling, the more bundles that I have seen. 78.3% of my orders are non-bundles, so single item purchases. Shipping discounts. I offered shipping discounts to 24.9% of my total orders, and that equated to $44 and change worth of shipping discounts that I paid for in the month of February. Although I think that this is for all of 2020. I don't think that it's just for February, so. Let's see. Obviously, my lowest sale price is within bundles. So when people bundle lots of items together, I tend to give them a better price. Offer to liker and offers from buyers is usually a higher price because that is going to be me kind of controlling what I make. And then, of course, buy it now is usually people buy it now when things are a little bit on the quote-unquote more reasonable side, which means that I've built in less room for offers, and it's more true to the actual value of the item. I will not do the customers tab because it does have my customer's name information on it, but it just tells me who my repeat customers are, how many times they've purchased from me, so if I want to reach out to them, I can do that. And then, of course, this is the number of sales I have had lifetime for different states. So even though I have never sold a single thing to Wyoming, I have sold 225 items to California and 125 to Texas, and then you can see the numbers up from there. So that is my sales for February of this year. Hi everyone, so it is now Monday morning. I have packed up all of my orders and I just wanted to give you the results of what I was able to achieve this weekend. This weekend was actually pretty bad, and it was pretty bad, I believe, across the reseller universe. A lot of people reported that sales were down. We are at the beginning of March 2020, so there is a lot of scare about the coronavirus, and I feel like a lot of people are just saving their money. They're, stacking up on things that they think that they might need, and maybe just a little afraid. So sales were not as great as I had hoped. On Friday, when I sent out my offers, I sold, on Thursday, I had sent out all of my deeply discounted offers, so like 40% off and greater, and I did sell 5 things that day. And then Friday, I got a lot of lowball offers on Friday, and I only sold 4 items total. And then Sunday morning, I did sell a few things Saturday, and then Sunday morning I went through and sent offers to all of the new likers that had come in and liked items in my closet since I had sent the last offers. And I did sell a couple of things on Sunday as well. I did take some lower offers this weekend. A couple of things sold that hadn't had a lot of action previously, so I was okay with letting those go. But I sold 21 items, 5 of them on Etsy and the rest on Poshmark. 11 of them were vintage, and it equated to somewhere around like $450 worth of sales. Normally on a weekend like this, I expect to make between $850 to $1,000 in sales, so this was definitely a slower weekend and hopefully not indicative of the rest of March, but we will see. And I guess it just goes to show that, you know, the same methods don't always work. It just really depends on the buying atmosphere of people, their comfort, and just what, you know, what's going on in the world. So that is sort of the wrap up of this video. That is generally how I run my closet and how I make between $2,500 to $4,000 in my Poshmark closet gross every month. So I hope that this video was helpful. Go ahead and leave me some comments down below. Let me know what you thought of my method and what your method is. I'd love to hear some of your success stories for sales and things that worked for you. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.